In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made $1,795 mining cryptocurrency in November of 2022. Now this will include only income earned in the month of November. This will include income from cryptocurrency mining, running cryptocurrency nodes, and any interest earned in DeFi. I've also included estimates for my monthly expenses, including electrical costs and any VPS hosting costs for cryptocurrency nodes, so that we can get an accurate picture of my net income for the month. Several subscribers have asked that I include an ROI or return on investment analysis into this review video so they can get a better perspective on individual miners' returns. Well, stay tuned because I've included that in this month's video as well. Yay! When I looked at the analytics of prior month's earnings review videos, I found there were a lot of people skipping forward in the video to the portion where I'm reviewing the earnings by project spreadsheet. So to save yourself some time searching, it actually starts at this time in this video. Now to start off, I would consider a lot of these mining projects to be considered speculative mining.
To just flip a coin.
My strategy from the beginning of getting into cryptocurrency mining was to get exposure to a large number of different cryptocurrency mining projects. I fully expect some, or even possibly many of these projects will fail miserably. But I also expect a few of these projects to be true diamonds in the rough, and they will be wildly successful, and it'll greatly offset any losses I see in some of the failed projects.
Success.
If we can get through this bear market, I'm confident this strategy will be effective. One other thing to know is I did not sell many of the coins that I mined this month or in prior months. I'm really waiting for higher prices to sell a lot of my cryptocurrency tokens that I've mined. But there are a few projects where I'm actively selling my tokens or exchanging my tokens for other cryptocurrency tokens. I'll review those in detail when we go through the earnings review by project in this video. This earnings review is a monthly series. This is month 7 of that series. Now I have created a monthly earnings review playlist for my prior month's videos. I'll link them in the description below if you're interested in checking them out. Now, as I've stated in prior videos, I'm not sharing this information with you today to try to boast about being in a certain cryptocurrency project over another, or to boast how much money I'm making each month. I'm not trying to promote certain cryptocurrency projects for my own personal gain.
Nope.
I'm sharing this information to keep myself accountable, as well as to keep a detailed record of the profitability of all my different projects that I'm involved in, so that I know whether to get in or out of projects as profitability changes. I hope you can gain something from any insights I may provide in this video. Let's start off by looking at the historical charts over the last 7 months. So for November, we had total revenue of $1,795. That is down $485 from our October figures. We had $691 from miners, $899 from nodes, and $205 from DeFi. So we're seeing a fairly consistent decrease across the board between October and November between all three of these different categories. And that's really in large part be driven by the decrease in cryptocurrency prices overall in the month of November. As many of you are aware, FTX collapsed in November, and that caused essentially all cryptocurrency prices, all projects, their underlying token values to decrease in November. So that's really what's driving this decrease in revenue we're seeing for the month. Expenses for the month of November came in at $723. That's an increase of $142 over October. That's all being driven by an increase in miner expenses. That increase is being driven by my Gold Shell mini Doge miners. I have 9 of them currently online. Those once again became profitable again in November, so I turned them on, I think, in the very end of October. So we're seeing additional expenses related to those miners now that we have electricity costs being incurred, but that's being largely offset by the revenue that those miners are earning. When we take our revenue and our expenses, our net income for the month is down again. It is, we are seeing a pretty consistent downtrend here in net income. Our net income came in at $1,072. We're seeing decreases across the board. So obviously I'm not very happy with these net income numbers we're seeing this month or we've seen the last several months, but really it's largely indicative of cryptocurrency prices really being in a brutal bear market at this moment, and I don't expect this to last forever. Welcome back to those who skip forward in the video. Now it really does take me quite a bit of time to compile all this data each month and put together this video. So if you enjoy this content, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. It really does help the channel. There were 25 different projects I was involved in as of the end of November. These are ranked by net income from largest to smallest. We'll go through each line item and I'll provide some short commentary on some of the changes that have occurred over each of these projects. We'll start off with our number 1 project, which is pre-search. This was also our number 1 project last month. I currently have 84 pre-search nodes. We had 2 additional nodes this month. We did see a decrease in profitability for our pre-search nodes versus October, and that's really being driven by the decrease in pre-search's token price for the month. You can see across the board, all these different cryptocurrency projects were down anywhere between 20 to 50, 60% in some cases for these projects. That's really driving the change in our net income month over month. So you can see what I have here, this price change. I'm essentially calculating the price difference between November 1st and December 1st. So you can see here in column L, we're seeing some large decreases in prices. And then column P here is the net profitability change from November to December. So we saw a $209 decrease in the profitability of our pre-search nodes, and that can really be driven in large part to this decrease in price across the board. So we had 2 new pre-search nodes spun up for the month. So I think currently I have 74 pre-search nodes that are staked with 2,000 pre-search, and then I believe I have 10 pre-search nodes that are staked with 4,000 pre-search tokens. Our number 2 project, which is the same as last month, are my Flux nodes. I have 3 Flux nodes. We're seeing a $291 net income for those. I have 2 Nimbus, 1 Stratus, and I do have a small amount in 2 different Titan nodes. Our number 3 project is staking of my Ethereum. So I have Ethereum on Coinbase. I have 15 Ethereum staked. One thing to note is Coinbase increased their APY for Ethereum staking. It is now 6.85%, up from 3.8% last month. So that generated $110. Number 4 project are my MatchX M2 Pros. As many of you may be aware, I cashed out my MXC tokens from my MatchX M2 Pros 2 months ago. So they're generating much less each month. So we've generated $68. Our number 5 project are my Stepin NFT shoes. I have 10 of these shoes. These are not a big earner for me as well. This project is down considerably in this bear market, but really I use these Stepin NFT shoes to really just get outside and walk each day for an hour. And that's really when I get to listen to my YouTube and kind of have my time to myself. Although it is getting very cold right now in Minnesota, and it's making these walks much more uncomfortable than they were in the summer. Our number 6 project is my HiFix GeoNet station. This is the space weather station. It generated $50 per month. They did have a Black Friday sale. They have an upgraded version of this GeoNet station coming out, and they also have a chip that you can buy to upgrade your current old version. So I have this old version. I did buy the upgraded chip. It was $145 for a Black Friday sale to get this new chip, and my understanding is this chip will cause my daily earnings to double for this HiFix GeoNet station. So once I get this, it should be generating about $100 per month, assuming the Geo token stays constant in price, which none of these tokens ever do. Number 7 is my Deeper Connect minis. I have a credit score of 866 now, so I believe this is the max earnings per day that I can earn on this now, which is 164 Deeper tokens per day. Number 8 is Drip. I have a very small amount in Drip. I think I initially invested about $350 in Drip, so Drip is down considerably as well over the past 8 months, 10 months. It's down 66% this month, so I'm not very confident in Drip in the long term. I think it was never very, very sustainable project, and that's why I didn't cover it on this channel. But I had tried it out just to try it out, and it is still making $30 a month, but my principal at this point is down considerably. All right, number 9 are my 9 Gold Shell Mini Doge miners. I had recently turned these back on, I believe, at the end of October. I do have 1 miner down, and that's because we've got some mechanical issues with that miner, and it caused me to shut down my entire mining operation last week because it was making a very smoky smell, and there were some black char marks on the back of the miner. I think we've got a bad connection, so I've got to do some investigative work with that miner before I can safely plug it back in again. Number 10 are my 5 Helium Bobcat 300 miners. Those are generating, not a huge amount at this point, but $27 for the month. Number 11 is the iPolo G1 Mini. I have 3 of these. One was mining solo for the month of November, and then I had 2 of these that were mining in pools. I did a video covering pool versus solo mining for Grin. I posted that recently, earlier this week. You can check it out if you're interested in doing that. But the gist of it is I found solo mining to be more profitable for that 30 days that I tested this. So I'm actually going to switch over at least one of my other iPolo Geo minis from pool mining to solo mining. Number 12 is my Gold Shell Mini Doge Pros. I have 3 of these. This is becoming also much less profitable, but at $9 for the month after electric. Number 13 is my Exim miner. It's a 64 terabyte version. This is still in testnet. I have 605 gigabytes of space used, so that'll net $7.48. What's your storage space look like on your Exim miner if you have one? I'm interested to see what other people's storage utilization is at this point. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, number 14 is Gold Shell ST Box. That one is just slightly profitable at this point. Number 15 is the Block Unlimited. That's really nothing going on with that project, or make it just under $2. Number 16, the Gold Shell KD Box Pros. Those are becoming much less profitable as some, I think, heavier duty Kadena miners are coming online. So that is disappointing that these miners are becoming much less profitable. So I'm barely squeaking out some profitability in these miners at this point, but I know the price of these Gold Shell KD Box Pros has plummeted over the past several months. I know at the beginning of the year they were going for $7,000. I picked up mine for I think $1,000, and now they're going for $200, $250. So it is really disappointing for anyone who's mining with these Gold Shell KD Box Pros. Then the next 4 projects are all still on testnet. We're earning tokens, but there's no underlying value for these tokens yet. So this includes the Helium Bobcat 500 mobile tokens. At this point, I have just under 1 million of these tokens, but at this point, my understanding is there's no real value for these yet, and everyone is trying to make guesses on what these values are going to be, but it's really, I think, anyone's guess at this point. We have WeatherXFM, generate 226 tokens. We have PiFi Aware. I did a video on this last month. This is also on testnet. And then Demode Data Miner. I have 2 of these. I also did a video on this in November, and we have 50,000 of these tokens so far. And then the last 5 projects here are 4 different Gold Shell Box miners, 2 of them mining SE Prime, and then 2 other Gold Shell Box miners, and then my FutureBit Apollo Bitcoin miner. All these are unprofitable at this point. Well, I guess the SE Box is still slightly profitable, but really, if this becomes more and more unprofitable, I may unplug these. But the strategy I've done with these is, since it's cold here in Minnesota, I've spread these out into different rooms in my house, and they essentially double as a space heater in each room. So it's really functioning in a different manner in terms of providing heat. Even though it's unprofitable, it's offsetting some of my heating bill. So it actually may be profitable when you think about it in that perspective. Next, I put a ROI, or return on investment analysis, by mining project together. This was requested by several viewers to try to get a better perspective of profitability of different projects. So I put this together this month, and I hope it's valuable for you. Let's start off with some assumptions so we can set a baseline for this analysis. First, miner fair market value was estimated based on recent comparable sales from eBay. So essentially what I did for each project that had a miner is I went on eBay and looked at recent sales and tried to find an average price that you could essentially buy this miner at currently today. These are not the prices that I had originally purchased these miners for. Unfortunately, the prices that I purchased them for are, in many cases, much higher than they currently are today. And really, it wouldn't make sense to use the prices that I paid for these miners in this analysis, because really that's not going to be helpful for you. Really, I'm trying to give a perspective of what the profitability would be currently today if you were to buy this miner today. It really doesn't really help anybody if, I bought a miner for 3 times the current price, and it essentially makes the ROI on this much less profitable. So that's why I use the current fair market value price. Second, current month net income is my actual mining income less any expenses. So these are my expenses I incur: my electric rate, my VPS hosting costs. Yours may be different. Next, this is a point in time, 12/1/22. Miner value and income amounts will obviously vary over time. And then finally, this is not financial advice. Don't use this as any justification to purchase a miner or a cryptocurrency note. So I'll go over these high level, but I don't want to dig too long into individual project. So we'll start with pre-search. Pre-search was my number one project. I have 84 pre-search nodes. I have a mix of 2K and 4K stake nodes. But essentially right now, my monthly return on investment based on current prices of pre-search is 4.6% with an annual ROI of 55%. Now, the thing to note with pre-search is I can basically unstake and sell my pre-search at any time. There's not a lockup period like you have in certain nodes or what I would call some fake node projects. Similar case with Flux nodes. I have 3 different Flux nodes, 2 Nimbus and 1 Stratus. I do have 2 small Titan nodes, but I didn't include that in this analysis. And just like pre-search, I can close down my Flux nodes at any time and sell my Flux if I wanted to. Number 3 are Coinbase staking. That's a 6.9% yield, but that cannot be unlocked until the Ethereum post-Ethereum merge. Number 4 are my MatchX M2 Pros. Now I do have an empty fuel tank for these, so these are much less profitable than they were several months ago, but that was just a strategic decision by mine to sell my accumulated MatchX M2 Pro MXC earnings. So right now on eBay, an empty MatchX M2 Pro is going for about $900. So we're looking at a monthly ROI of 3.8% or 45% per year. So still a pretty good ROI for a miner that is still much less profitable. Next are my Stepin NFT shoes. Right now I'm valuing these at about $600. It may be a little bit less than that at this point, but when I had done an analysis several weeks ago, I was estimating the value of my individual shoes at about $600. So we're making $64 a month, so a good annual ROI at this point. Same thing with the HiFix GeoNest station. Current sales price for the old version is about $500, so you're looking at an annual ROI of 121%. Our Deeper Connect Mini, this ROI is a little distorted because to earn these rewards, I did have to stake a significant number of Deeper tokens. I believe it was 75,000 tokens. So it's not like you could just spend $150 and earn $32 per month. You would have to stake a large portion of Deeper tokens. Next one I want to know is the Helium Bobcat 300 miners. I have 5 of these. Right now you can get these for about $90 on eBay. So at that price point and based on my current location, I'm earning about 6.1% across my 5 different Helium miners. If you have better locations than mine, I don't have the most optimal locations for mine. I think you could generate an even higher return for these. Next is the iPolo G1 Mini. These are not super profitable, but you're still generating a 30% ROI on them. So I think that is still a solid mini miner for a lot of people. And then as we scroll down here, we've got a lot of projects that are either in testnet or have a very low net income or are actually negative, so contribute to a negative ROI at this point. It's not to say that these projects are necessarily dead yet, but it is concerning if you're seeing a negative ROI consistently over time. It may make sense to power off these miners until we potentially see higher prices. So a couple takeaways I found from this ROI analysis. We are seeing some depressed prices for several of these cryptocurrency miners, especially Helium miners and our Gold Shell KD Box Pros. But the other thing I found interesting is we're still seeing some fairly elevated prices for some of these other miners, like an empty MatchX M2 Pro going for $900. That seems kind of crazy to me. And we're still seeing like Gold Shell Mini Doge going for $400 and $500, even though they're essentially break even at this point. So I think there's potential where we could still see some lower prices for some of these miners, but we're also seeing some fairly attractive monthly ROIs for several of these projects, which generate into some decent annual ROIs as well. Now that could all change if we see much lower cryptocurrency prices, so I don't think we're out of the woods yet, but I think it is promising that we're still seeing some lucrative cryptocurrency mining projects out there. Next, the miner graveyard. Fortunately, there was no new projects added to the miner graveyard this month. Next, pending projects. I do have 6 S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners that plans to be hosted, but currently Bitcoin is unprofitable at current prices and my electric rate that I'd be hosted with. So we are holding off on turning those on for now. And then finally, we have a mystery project plus a giveaway that should be delivered here within the next couple of weeks. And I'll do a video on that project in December or January. So stay tuned for that. So obviously November was another really bad month for cryptocurrency mining, but I'm not planning on going anywhere, and I hope you don't either. Consider sticking with me by subscribing by pressing this little button over here. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.